Hello everyone! Welcome to the Mania 4K World Cup 2023 edition. In this match, you're going to be seeing two of the biggest titans that we've seen in the 4K World Cup scene, which is going to be South Korea and Brazil. I'm Silas Els, and joining me on the commentary booth is going to be Potassium F. Hello there, how are you doing today?
I am absolutely excited because, anyone who's been watching the matches so far this weekend knows that we've had an absurdly, just insane weekend. So many of these matches, we have 2 tiebreakers. And not only did we have 2 tiebreakers already, but those 2 tiebreakers went down to the absolute wire. I'm really excited. This one as well, on paper, well, it looks like such a ridiculously close match. Of course, this is a rematch of last year's grand finals, albeit with some different teams, some switches in the rosters. And of course, this is coming through from the winners bracket as well. So both of these teams, if they win, they get a guaranteed spot in the podium, I believe. Next week is the finals week, yes.
So one of the podiums that was secured, one of the podium spots that was secured was on the US side. So United States is going to be waiting for their next opponent between these two teams. And honestly speaking, I kind of feel bad for Brazil because I think they're playing at a ridiculously early time. But this just goes to show how dedicated they are into being competitive in this whole tournament. And what is that roll from the Marcinho?
Nice.
Nice.
A pretty solid role, all things considered. But I just want to kind of mention as well, Brazil is a team that, definitely you would have to say it's a little bit of a downgrade. But that said, the way they've been playing so far, last week, the past few weeks, there's very few teams that can even come close to the team scores that they've been setting. The question really is, can they keep up when it comes to the higher difficulty of the maps in this semifinals and onwards as well, finals, grand finals level? It feels like South Korea is the team that you would expect to fare a little bit better on some of these harder maps. So I think it really is going to come down to, can Brazil still perform as well as they have last week?
Yeah, to be fair, the maps are harder now by a lot, especially on the rice department. But I think there are still a lot of picks that Brazil should be comfortable with, especially the hybrids, considering that they number 1 literally every hybrid map on the full last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Brazil have been looking really terrifying on those hybrids, and I feel like that might be the avenue of attack for them in general this match. South Korea, on the other hand, I guess they would probably go for more of, the more physical of the rice picks first, maybe. LN, I'm still scared of Brazil's LN, so I'm not sure necessarily if South Korea want to be touching those too much. And of course, both of these teams very solid SV overall as well, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of focus. I don't know if there's going to be protects on the SV or bans there. It's very possible, I can imagine, that both of them are left up even.
We have to see first about the SVs. So I'm not surprised South Korea is protecting SV. They've been really solid on the department, and I think Brazil is going to be banning SV1 just like how they did last week in the quarterfinals match. Though we'll have to see what South Korea bans. I think they gotta ban something like Super Nuka World, or maybe even Lemming, really. I think Lemming is a better ban, but I think Super Nuka World also makes sense. Though we'll have to see. Actually, no, maybe Hybrid would be their ban.
Yeah, I was thinking Hybrid as well. Gonna be an interesting one between them. I'm not sure which one you would ban if you're South Korea. Maybe Hybrid 2? If I were to pick one of them, judging, based on some of the scores from both the teams last week. But it is going to be the SV1... Wait a second. That's South Korea. Okay, so South Korea protecting SV2, but banning SV1 themselves, interestingly enough.
The mere fact that South Korea banned SV1, I think that they were gambling on the fact that Brazil may only ban one, may not protect an SV map, and I think that was a gamble that they had to take, and it was a nice choice, really. Though Brazil, I think, has to ban. I actually don't know. Maybe I'm in no mood for this is gonna be their ban, because technicality something South Korea is probably really good.
Yeah, if I'm on the, like, honestly, I think what may have just happened is maybe Brazil was also planning on banning SV1, like you said earlier. So there is a bit of a weird situation that's possible where Brazil just got their banned away from them. So now they need to consider their second options. What's the next worst that they want to ban out? I do like, I get having, although it looks weird protecting an SV, banning an SV, these SVs are very different overall, and I can perfectly understand why, you know, maybe some South Korean players were not really, it wasn't clicking for the SV1, because it is very difficult to try and approach SV1 in particular in this pool. It's going to end up being Saraba, the speed pick that Brazil is going to end up banning here.
Yeah, honestly, it's surprising because like Brazil did really good in Gypsophila last week, and considering that they're banning Starba, I think there are a few things that I have questions for. Number one, are they starting to fall off in Rise? And number two, does Brazil have their ideal lineup considering how early it is in Brazil right now? So those two factors could really affect the momentum of this game in general.
Yeah, I really do hope that they have their full lineup here. We'll have to see when we get the picks out, and it's actually going to be a very early hybrid pick, but not necessarily the hybrid pick I was expecting, but they did very well on the follow pick last week. This one, however, is much harder.
I mean, Libidinum is a really difficult hybrid. I've seen so many teams score low in this, regardless of what seed they got. So, interestingly enough, I don't think South Korea is gonna score low on something like this. Especially, they do have Poka and Geisel, yes, but YZ has been Korea's very consistent player, in my opinion. And now that Brazil has Marcinho and Demifine, I think we're just gonna wait on Silly Fangirl probably. I think Silly is the type of player to really destroy map like this. But if not, then Metro probably is a solid choice. But oh, okay, I think it's gonna be Silly Fangirl.
Yeah, both of them going to be invited here. But I expect Silly Fangirl to be playing most of the maps, if not all of them. Just due to the fact that, you know, has the physicality to go into the late game pools, especially semifinals. And that is going to help out Brazil quite a lot. Actually, we might get Lamarcinho stepping out, perhaps, if Netro is coming in as well.
I won't be surprised if that's the case. Maybe they're going... Oh, no. Okay, this is going to be Silly Fangirl and Lamarcinho, yeah.
Just giving Silly Fangirl the top spot on the stream. Okay, it looks like we have our lineups here. Poker, Geisel, and YZ, of course, for South Korea as well. And we'll see, this is the very first pick, of course, Brazil's first pick. So Brazil are going to want to get rolling in this match early, win their own pick. Early breakpoints are not what you want against a team like South Korea.
Well, before we could even go to the specifics of this match, we have to make sure client actually works, and it does. It does seem to be here, so thank you for that.
Hang on, don't speak too soon. We've got Geisel.
Oh,
it looks like just catching up. Okay, so Geisel's not skipping, or I don't know what's going on here. Okay, there we are.
Right, so to start things off, what makes this map really hard is the rolls burst and combined long notes. So, you know how in mini-jacks, sometimes you have the tendency to press an extra tap? With LNs, you have to be very precise with the amount of taps you have to do. And it looks like every team so far has been super good in that aspect, and everyone hits that 4-note anchor.
Oh, first miss coming out from Lamarcinho on the Brazilian side. Not too big of an act drop. Still 99.5, still tying YZ's accuracy. So this lead is not that big despite it. But Silly Fangirl with a second miss now for Brazil.
Demifine, I was about to say Demifine and Poker were just going 1-1. But look at the consistency of South Korea right now. I honestly think if this was an accuracy battle, I think Brazil may have had the advantage. But the name of the game is consistency, really. And they're exhibiting amazing consistency right now.
Yeah, still with 3 full combos from South Korea. All 3 of the Brazilian FCs are gone now, and they came with a bit of act drop as well from Silly Fangirl's side in particular. So now we can see the accuracy lead due to Poker holding up an incredibly high 99.79. Of course, with their 3 FCs, this is 17,000 points in the lead at the break, 1/3 of the map left.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of time for things to happen, really. There is still around a third, but they really have to hope for a team miss from Korea at this point. Like, these long notes and anchors have really been killing Brazil's score. Meanwhile, though,
we can see the ratio actually is fairly good for Brazil. The accuracy is pretty close, all things considered. Silly Fangirl and YZ tying each other. We've got Gazel and Lamarcinho and Demifiend only a little bit behind Poker, but more misses coming from Brazil. Traded 1 from Poker, but that is favorable for South Korea at the end of the day. And this lead is going to grow as we approach the outro of this map.
The mere fact that we saw 2 FCs on this match alone, like, we barely see any of that in this kind of map. Amazing performances from everyone. If we were to look at the ratio side by side, Brazil actually wins that. Though the misses have really hurt their chances on taking the first point.
Yeah, 2 full combos, and the one player on South Korea that missed actually got MVP despite the miss. Just pure accuracy on Poker's side, only 1/200. That is an incredibly strong team score from South Korea. The consistency in the combo pulling them ahead at the end, and an early break point as well. They are going to start 1-0 in this match, and it's their pick now.
I think South Korea has to pick their... I think they have to open up with a technical pick. Because, like, I get that they want a hybrid, but I think hybrid is, like, a very risky choice nonetheless. 25k may seem big, but it's not exactly safe if Brazil literally had some of the best act as a team overall. So I think they have to go with Aimin Nomu for this, or maybe even... I don't even know how to pronounce the Mathaya map, but let's go with that.
Froms.
Yeah, but there's also the Hall map, remember?
No, they're not picking tiebreaker. Sure, non-tiebreaker Froms. There you go. Rice 7. But yeah, I do agree. I think a lot of those technical picks very physically intense as well, and I feel like that might play into what South Korea might want. As far as we saw there, you know, the combo side of things as well. South Korea are looking very good with today. And they're going to go with Hollywood Squares, one of the most physically intense maps of the pool that we've seen so far.
I mean, Hollywood Squares... Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, Japan literally almost took a great point on the United States idea, so I won't be surprised. I'm not surprised that they went with this pick. Though, they really have to rely on the consistency. The way I see this is, I think Brazil may have the slight edge in accuracy, but South Korea definitely has the consistency to back it up. So they're just gonna swap in YZ and Yeonho, which I think makes a lot of sense. I know how good Yeonho is in the Rice department. Like, he's one of the most physically adept players in the entire tournament.
Yeah, Yeonho's been absolutely killing it with these Rice shots so far in the tournament at least, so it makes a lot of sense. I believe we're going to see him basically every Rice map, and it looks like we're getting another switch in here. Demifiend is going to be switching out for Netro on the side of Brazil as well.
So Netro coming in, I think that's an indication to probably the physicality department. Oh wait, is Miko Mero gonna come in?
Are we going to see 2? No, Lamarcinho comes in again for Brazil, so just taking a step out momentarily, it looks like.
Okay, but it is going to be Netro who's coming in. I think Netro is probably very comfortable with a map like this, so it makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, but it is going to have to be Brazil holding on to their combos a little bit more if they want to be able to take this. Especially if South Korea managed to hold on to, you know, a couple of FCs like they did in the previous one.
Yeah, I think Korea really has... I think the only option they have really is to FC. I don't know about you, but something tells me YZ may be a better choice compared to, let's say, like, Polka. Because while Polka's accuracy is a lot higher, for sure, I think YZ can secure that FC no problem. Something just tells me Brazil's consistency might fall off a little bit. I don't know about you, but that's just me.
Yeah, it is not that long of a map as well, just over 2 minutes, so misses can matter a lot. We did see, as you say, the other day, USA versus Japan almost won by Japan off of a couple of misses from the USA. So the combo does matter a whole lot in this case. Even if you have high accuracy, it might not be enough to counteract a combo. And so far, at least, everyone off to a very good start just in this intro.
Yeah, intro isn't exactly the hardest part of this map. I personally think the hardest part certainly comes around here. Like, the rolls in general is just going to kill people if you're not careful. It's actually really close right now. I think Polka's been the difference maker here. The 99.86 is just ahead of everyone else.
Everyone, lowest accuracy is right now above 99.6 still, so high accuracies across the board here. A little bit better on the side of South Korea. Poker is still holding on to this incredible ratio. Drops a little bit though. And actually there's the miss. This might give Brazil a bit of an advantage.
This is what I was talking about, Pikachu, man. This is why I thought Polka may have been a little bit of a risky choice. And while the lead is still in South Korea's favor, remember, there is a combo cap, but as he said that, Netro finds a drop. And that was the worst place to find a drop as well, because arguably that was one of the least physical parts of this whole map.
Yeah, Netro was holding on to a really strong accuracy as well just before that drop, so with that comes with a bit of an act drop as well. South Korea back in the lead. Poker has completely recovered the accuracy there, but Yonho now finding a miss. It's another one actually.
That's two misses on Yonho's side.
Make that 3. Oh my god, Yonho struggling a little bit now with these sustained streams, and now Brazil are going to have a bit of an advantage going into the last quarter of the map. Yonho now matching the accuracy with Netro. Actually, across the board, it looks like a little bit of an advantage for South Korea overall, so they could start bringing back the score a little bit, but it is the combo, the misses from South Korea have caused it to go into Brazil's favor.
Yeah, but Brazil cannot afford to make any mistake now. They have to keep this consistency. These rolls are no joke to full combos still, considering how they can still make it wrist unstable. And time is running out. Oh, yeah, don't find the drop it. That's it. Brazil takes the break point back. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the misses. Just too many misses from South Korea. Basically the same thing that we saw on map number 1, just the other way around now. Now it's Brazil with 2 full combos from Lamasinho and Silly Fangirl. And break points, 1 each. Back to tied. Brazil correct their mistake earlier on in the match instantly.
That was surprising to me. See, this is what I was saying. Maybe YZ was the better choice after all. Like, we're going for consistency here. The name of the game this whole match is really going to be consistency. And I think Brazil did a really good job countering South Korea's consistency with that.
Yeah, that was just a really strong team performance overall from Brazil. There was just the 1 miss on Netro, but other than that, basically flawless from all of their players. And that's the kind of consistency that we saw, you know, the past few weeks from Brazil as well. So if they can keep that up with some of these other picks, they absolutely have a strong chance in this match. But now, this is a very interesting pick that Brazil have. What do they decide to go for now? Do they keep going with the hybrids? No, they're actually going to... Wait, Rise 6 was what was just played, was it not?
I don't know actually.
Right. Yeah, right. Rise 6.
Wait. I don't think that was their pick. I don't think that's their pick.
Oh, okay, they're just talking about... Okay, yeah. Oh, Rise 7. Okay, yeah, okay. I was confused for a second. I'm like, hang on a second. I mean, yeah, if you just won that map, maybe you want to play the same map again. Fair enough. But,
Alright.
Another technical one. This one is very difficult. We've seen some very low scores as well on this one so far from very strong teams. So we'll see. Brazil, the goal of this one is, once again, they have to hold on to the combos as much as they can. Hope for some chokes coming through from South Korea again.
I mean, yeah, chokes was the name of the game. Vanilla Latte coming in, I think that's a good decision. Yonho staying is a little bit questionable though. I feel like the biggest question was, or maybe the reason why South Korea is putting in this lineup is they're really trying to counter Brazil's accuracy in general. Wait a minute, so Polka's getting out? I think it's gonna be YZ who has to come. It has to be YZ, right?
Gaysol? Potentially as well? I mean,
Right,
Gaysol pulled off the Scorpio 1 SS on the previous map. Actually, like a really strong tournament player just all around, so that makes a lot of sense. Vanilla Latte, of course, is an exceptionally strong combo player, is what I know them as. Maybe not the highest AC on the South Korean team, but definitely one of the most consistent when it comes to holding on to more of the late game combos in a map as hard as this. So it makes a lot of sense for these switches from South Korea. Brazil, of course, keeping with their same team that just won the other Rice pick. That, of course, making a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense to pick Rice 7 after you win Rice 6. But this really begs me the question. Can Brazil keep that one miss? Can they keep the consistency that was able to combat Korea's score? And right now, though, accuracy has been very good for Brazil. But remember, the ending of this map is really daunting.
Wait, what is this AC? This AC is, I mean, it's still the intro, but I mean, my god, 99.85 is the lowest AC on Brazil right now. Yonho and Vanilla Latte a little bit behind the other players, and that's giving Brazil a very small advantage, but still 6 full combos on the board, so anything is still on the table right now.
Yeah, I mean, the combo has been really good overall. We have yet to see a single miss. And, I mean, I can't really blame them because this part is the break section. Though if the trend here continues... Oh, never mind. I was about to say that if the trend continues, Brazil would have had the lead, but looks like Korea is starting to get off just based on the consistency. Yonho's finally getting back on track.
219 points. Yeah, Netro and Lamarcino both had some fairly significant accuracy drops towards the end, and Vanilla Latte and Yonho have been slowly climbing up the accuracy since that intro. So basically tied we have right now. Silly Fangirl with the highest accuracy in the lobby is helping Brazil out, keeping it very close right now. In the last quarter of the map, we still have 6 FCs, by the way. Hello? 200 points?
200 points, but this can change within seconds here. We approach the Korjak part, and
oh my god,
Hazel finds the drop. The person who got the MP last map now misses, but that's what Brazil traded back.
2 misses from Brazil, and that's enough. All 3 of these misses have been so clean. There is no accuracy drops, and Vanilla Latte finds a miss back. This might be going towards Brazil now. It's flipping back and forth, and it's less than 1,000 points, 900 in favor of Brazil. They managed to steal it, and a really impressive score v1 double S from Silly Fangirl. 2 misses for each team. Those are the cleanest misses I've ever seen in a tech map. No one having any major accuracy drops.
Silly Fangirl really showed why he's the most, he's regarded as one of the most consistent players in the tournament scene. Yonho did an amazing job countering that, but ultimately those misses from Gaisel and Vanilla Latte were a little bit too much. I think the fact that some of those misses it's probably the timing of the misses that really changed the scope of the victory here.
Yeah, absolutely. The accuracy was so close overall between the 2 teams, but just barely Brazil winning their own pick. They're now up in the lead 2-1, and South Korea, they're not messing around. They're going straight for their own protect, which was this SV2, but this is still fairly scary. Despite South Korea protecting this, Brazil have shown to be extremely strong on all the SV maps that they've played so far in the tournament.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna be seeing Poca and Poca Fanboy, of course. I'll be surprised if it's gonna be Demi, Zerg, and Lamarcino here.
Yeah, that would definitely make sense coming in for Brazil. That's been fairly similar team that Brazil's had for all of their SVs so far, I believe, as well as South Korea, having, of course, Poca and Poca Fanboy, the duo.
Oh my goodness, man. I think they're gonna put either Miku Meru or Demi Phoenix.
Yeah, but this SV map is going to be fairly interesting. We see Demi-Fiend coming in. This one, out of the 2 SV maps this pool, I would say this one is a little bit more approachable, a little bit nicer as far as learning it goes, but there are a few sections absolutely that can be some very big choke points, especially towards the end. There's a few of these teleports that can force you to rush or trick you to rush a few notes that result in some misses, at least.
All right. Also, you're seeing. This is what you're really seeing. It's not low scroll speeds. This is how the map really starts.
Yeah, some extreme slow jam. Poker Fanboy off to a really shaky start. Counteracted a little bit by Zerg, so overall, tied accuracies just about in that little intro section.
I mean, yeah, it's really close right now, but who's to say that this is going to continue? Because I feel like the biggest part that's really going to determine is the part after this. There is a long deck here, and everyone hits it, of course. Never mind. Zerg finds one miss, and like what I've noticed in SV maps is like one miss really changes the lead so much.
Yeah, the note count is so low that just single combo drops. We can see this lead has already ballooned up to 40,000 points. Zerg dropping a little bit in accuracy as well, down to 96%. Gaysol is below 99, but that is not too big of a deal because all three of the full combos on South Korea are still up.
Yeah, South Korea is far ahead, mainly because of Polka and Polka Fanboy being two of the higher acts. Limarcino is matching Polka's accuracy, actually.
Oh, Poker got a 200 there. I think that might have been the first 200 that he's gotten.
Which Polka? Which Polka? Which Polka are we referring to?
Regular Poker. Left
Regular
Poker. Left Poker, yeah.
Regular Polka. Zerg finding 2 drops. That is unfortunate, but I honestly don't think those misses actually matter too much, because like, if you think about it, South Korea's overall accuracy has been just a little bit ahead of the Brazilian team. Not to mention, Limarcino has already dropped below the 99.7 range.
Yeah, the accuracy from South Korea is just so solid right now. Poker Fanboy dropping a little bit on accuracy, Gaysol managing to come back above, but ultimately this is 3 FCs, all above 99% for South Korea. Not too much that Brazil could do in the face of that, and that was a solid protect coming out there when they needed it most to tie up the score again, 2-2. And yeah, just the 1-200 in the break section from Poker. That is an incredible ratio for an SV map.
Definitely. I mean, like South Korea really had to get a map in which they won on their own, because Brazil did win their own pick this time around. So I personally think this could be a very good decision. I mean, maybe they could have saved this for later, though I think it's much nicer to have secured picks than to risk it all on something like that.
Yeah, it's always a tough decision, especially, but I would think that if South Korea took a bit more of a risk, if they ended up losing that could be a really big hit to South Korea's just mental pressure in general, right? If you go 1-3 down in the match, then even though you have the SV pick later on, you can kind of put yourself in a bit of a corner mentally, putting the pressure on yourself too much. But right now, they managed to tie it up. Pressure still on both teams equally right now. In Brazil, they have their pick next. They're going to want to win this one for sure.
Well, we have to wait and see for now, actually. I think Brazil might want... They're either picking I'm in no mood for this, or... Honestly, I don't know. I was saying the whole time that I'm in no mood for this was a bad pick because I think Korea would be consistent. But wait, they're going for Lemming Ming for here. Interesting choice.
Okay, so I mean, at this point, we've seen every section of the pool being picked. Brazil have picked from hybrid rice, then LN, jumping everywhere in the map pool. But I guess this is just kind of what happens at the end. If Brazil have very strong overall ability in all of the maps, it really does come down to which maps they feel most comfortable getting the combos on. And apparently it's going to be this one, more of a timing hell style map that we're seeing coming out in the LNs.
I mean, oh wait, are we seeing Nikomero here?
Does look like it. Switching in the place of Silly Fangirl, actually. Okay. And of course, Brazil have been very strong so far on the LNs as well. Demi-Fiend, definitely a player to keep your eye on. The Marcinho also very consistent with the LN accuracy overall. But South Korea, they've got Poker as well. So this could be a fairly close one, all things considered.
Wait, what is going on? Like, I mean, I just wanted to say this right now, but Miku Mero has yet to go to the Brazilian spot.
Yeah, a bit of a trade of players. Miku Mero for South Korea, YZ for Brazil. But they should be switching around any time now. Gonna be the forced move by the ref. Okay, let's see, first LN map that we're seeing so far in the match. We'll see how these two teams stack up on the increase in difficulty here.
Yeah. Okay, well, honestly, it's an interesting choice to have YZ instead of someone like Vanilla Latte. I think Vanilla Latte may be a little bit of a more, no, actually, because YZ and Vanilla Latte are both good at LN. I'm just thinking that YZ has the better LN. Like, what do you call this again? I just think Vanilla Latte has the better LN act.
That could be the case, especially with a map like this, where, you know, in general, very difficult to get good accuracy on a map like this. It is, I feel like, you know, the teams overall, their accuracy is close enough that it really does. I think the combo just matters a lot more in this case as well. So Vanilla Latte, definitely a player that has strong combo capability.
Alright, alright.
We'll see.
Alright, wait, they're all stuck, so I think they're gonna have to avert that.
Yeah, some issues here with the connection.
I think Miku Mero is just going to be resetting their piece or something like that. Oh, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Got timed out. So just a bit of internet issues happens every match, it feels like sometimes. But are they actually going to have a player switch? Potentially.
Oh.
Okay, that's what it looks like here. So Miku Mero going to be switched out, having a bit too much of the internet issues on their end. So Silly Fangirl joining here. We'll see how this works out for Team Brazil. It is their own pick, so they are definitely going to want to have as good of a performance as they possibly can on a map like this. But definitely Silly Fangirl also very capable on LN maps as well. And here we go, starting the map now.
Alright, so we'll have to see first. Like, I honestly think Miku Mero may have been an X factor, but think of it this way, alright? We have YZ, who I thought could be more of a consistency than an act player in LN release, and I think Silly Fangirl's exactly just like that as well in terms of LN release. So I guess it makes sense that Silly Fangirl is the counter to YZ, which I think could be a good choice.
Yeah, to hold the fort in terms of the combo overall, because we know for sure, as we can see here, Demi-Fiend has the ratio in spades for Team Brazil, 99.88. And that is giving a little bit of an advantage overall to Brazil, but nothing too serious yet. They cannot be too complacent. As we see, it's now back and forth.
My goodness, what is his accuracy? It's actually really close right now. Like,
we're seeing like 3 1v1s happening over here. Demi-Fiend Poker very close together. Lamarcino and Gaysol very close as well. Silly Fangirl and YZ. Silly Fangirl with just a little bit worse AC overall, but it seems like it's being counteracted by Demi-Fiend, still holding the highest accuracy in the lobby, and it's still 3-digit points.
Alright, here's how I see this right now. Demi-Fiend is canceling Polka, right? And Gaysol is canceling Lamarcino. They're both in like the exact same amount of canceling. So it's the difference between YZ and Silly Fangirl. Not to mention these LN releases. have been really difficult, and I think this part can really make players miss. I missed a lot here. Let's see.
Oh, YZ! But Silly Fangirl finds the miss.
That's what I was talking about. That was really dangerous. But Gazel finds a trade. Surprisingly, I think those short LNs have really been hurting the team shots, but then it finds a bad miss.
Oh, and that's the best accuracy. Demi-Fiend, not the player you want to miss here for Brazil. And now South Korea have a bit of an advantage. There's a third of the map left. This is a long map as well. So still not safe. It's only 5,000 points. It's one miss of difference. And even though Demi-Fiend had that one miss, they still have the highest accuracy in the entire lobby.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, this accuracy from both Polka and Demi-Fiend have been really good. But
one miss is going to be enough. If South Korea miss once with a little bit of an act drop, that might be enough for Brazil to take back the lead. But there's not that much time left in the map, so it has to happen really soon if Brazil want to take their own point.
And yeah, one more miss can really change the tide here. Though, I think this should do it because the ending is actually a little bit easier than the first parts. Though to be fair, fatigue is also a factor that people cannot consider, and that should do it. I think that point goes to South Korea, but that was a very uncomfortable win, really.
Yeah, just the single miss working out there actually looks like overall Brazil potentially with a little bit of an act lead if you subtract some of those misses. But at the end of the day, 2 FCs to 1 wins it out for South Korea. Wait, Gazel's accuracy was so high. Even with the 2 misses, still getting 986k. That's not a score that I would expect to be not an FC.
Is honest. I mean, it's mainly because, think of it this way, it's mainly because the tournament count was really low, and I think those 2 misses happened at the same time. So yeah. Though now, this begs the question, what should South Korea pick? Because I'm gonna be honest, their Rice... Oh wait, I know what they should pick. They should probably go for Matt Silver. I think that's a very safe, or at least in comparison to the rest of the picks, I think Matt Silver could work. BOL could also be a good pick for them in my opinion.
Yeah, more of these maps where maybe South Korea might have a bit of the physicality advantage, a bit of the accuracy advantage overall with some of the harder Rice picks, for sure. But it's also a fairly hard one to pick into. We've seen what can happen on Matt Silver on a core Jack map.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just think core Jack's really something that South Korea is very consistent on. Though, if I were to pick, I may want to go for BOL, actually. Oh, wait, what?
And the opposite side of the board is going to be picked instead, LN2. We're going to LN Density. South Korea picking LN after that LN win. I mean, you can phrase it like that, but that was not a very comfortable win at all for South Korea. This is one you can imagine Brazil has some chances of trying to break point back.
This is such a questionable pick for me, though. South Korea almost lost Lemming Ming, and arguably this one could be really on Brazil's favor, though I'm expecting maybe Mikumeru is gonna play this. Maybe. Okay, no, we're gonna be seeing Le Marcinho, although YZ and Marcinho are both swapped.
So maybe we see a similar kind of setup for the two teams once again, with Poker and Demi-Fiend cancelling each other out with their strong accuracies. No Gay Soul in this one this time though. We're going to get YZ and Vanilla Latte both for South Korea. And the same 3 from Brazil. So interesting one here. This is definitely one where you have to feel like Brazil has a strong chance if they want to tie up the score once again. And actually, so far, thinking about it, I think we have had 3 breakpoints so far out of 5 maps. So it kind of would be the trend if Brazil were to find another one here.
I really... Oh, what? Please tell me that's a client, right?
No, from Silly Fangirl's side? Ooh.
Oh, that is...
No, that's fine.
Oh,
that's
okay,
fine.
okay.
Okay, saved.
I had a heart attack there. I had a heart attack there, not gonna lie. Well, okay. So obviously, Demifine and Poka are going to match each other. Marcinho and Vanilla Latte, I think, would be the E2, and Silicon Girl and YZ is going to be here. So think of it this way: South Korea has the advantage in qualifiers. I think. What were you gonna say, Patashi?
I'm gonna say, you say the 1v1s, but all three 1v1s so far, at least, at the early stages of this map, being won by South Korea, so that's giving them about a 3,000 point lead in the accuracy alone. But of course, Demifine actually finding the first miss in the first third of the map. That was a fairly big one as well with the act drop, so now 8,000 points already for South Korea in the lead.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big lead if you ask me, because like, South Korea isn't exactly the country that's going to be missing on a map like this. Like, they're known to be ridiculously consistent on stuff like density. And if you give them a very straightforward map, they would just not miss at all.
And we can see the accuracies as well. All three accuracies on Korea beating Brazil, and that's a miss from Silly Fangirl as well. Only one FC left for the Brazilian side. South Korea still have all three of them with such strong accuracies as well. This lead is ballooning very fast. We're getting into the last third of the map. There's still a bit of time, but there has to be something catastrophic from South Korea if Brazil want to come back in this one.
I mean, time is really running out for sure. 8 in KFN advantage is not exactly the safest, but it's also just a little bit of time for you to catch up. Although there's like, again, not that much room for South Korea to make any mistakes. Brazil really has to fight hard and hope a miracle happens. They would need a team miss at this point, and it has to happen right now, but it does not seem to be budging.
This is just incredible consistency coming from South Korea. They've had 99.85, 99.82. Those acts have not budged whatsoever, and YZ 99.75 as well, beating out the best accuracy on Brazil. So
oh my goodness.
This is a crazy team score. What, 2981?
Wait, V1SS from... That's three 200s on the entire South Korean lobby, and that beat out Le Marcinho and Demifine. What?
That is, I guess, why South Korea picked it. I mean, that is an absolutely insane team score. I don't think you can find many teams at all in the whole tournament that can pull off a score like that. Be that consistent on the longer, more consistency-based density pick. And oh my god, that's a bit of a statement from South Korea. They are gaming now 4-2, and this is the first real advantage we've seen in the match so far. 2 points the lead now. It is Brazil's pick though, so they get to try and close this gap.
My goodness, that was an insane team score from South Korea there. But hey, Brazil has the pick right now. I think they may want to go for a hybrid, but they did lose a hybrid pick. And all of their victories was on the more technical end. Even though I did say a while ago that this was a pick that Brazil may lose because of Korea's consistency, maybe I'm in no mood for this is the best way to go.
Yeah, Brazil have looked very strong so far on the tech things. That does feel like one of them that maybe Brazil have to win if they want to get back into this, so maybe it's a good pick to go for now, but it's not. It's actually going to go for BOL is going to be the pick instead. We're going for the more stamina-focused jump stream.
That's such a weird pick in my opinion, actually. Like, I was just thinking this South Korea's consistency will play a big factor in a map like this.
I have to see exactly how that works out. I do think, I mean, Brazil have shown consistency as well, particularly in some of the Rise picks so far, but this one a very different story. This is going to be a difficult one to win for Brazil for sure, but if they can hold out the FCs, if they can keep up the accuracy that they've shown in a couple of the Rise picks that they've won, definitely doable.
Well, wait a second. South Korea.
A lot of swaps.
Look at South Korea. I think they're gonna put in.
Gaysol?
I'm predicting YZ Gaze. I'm predicting YZ Vanilla Latte here. I don't know.
Vanilla Latte? Vanilla Latte is definitely a good shout here. Also been playing very well. Gaysol is coming in, it looks like. And we have the same three from Brazil also still playing. So just waiting on the last player here. We'll see if it is Vanilla Latte or YZ. I believe it would be... who's played the Rice so far? I think Vanilla Latte has probably played a little bit more. At least so far in the match, it's been between kind of Poker and Vanilla Latte, but I would expect the latter to come in.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking Vanilla... if Gaysol's then YZ's not first, yeah, I think YZ makes sense.
Okay, yeah. I guess that is also... Oh, never mind. Swapping out all the changes. That is also, one of the advantages that I think South Korea does have as well in this matchup, is they have a very deep roster. I think all 6 of their players are very strong. They could switch between a lot of different players depending on the individual maps that get picked. Gives each player a lot of break as well, while Brazil, they have been playing with these same 3 players for most of the maps. Eventually, you get later on into the match, there is definitely some concerns about fatigue, about stamina running out, especially now that we're into a bit of a stamina pick.
I mean, yeah, stamina is definitely an interesting choice. I think Brazil, in general, should be fine with jump stream-ish patterns here. But again, the consistency of South Korea is going to play an X factor here, in my opinion.
Okay, nice and calm intro here, no one having any difficulty, of course, just yet. We just have to wait until we get into the real meat of the chart, with the jump stream kicking in about now.
Yeah, and here we go. This part is one of the easier ones, actually, relative to what the ending offers. And right now, Brazil's accuracy has been extremely consistent. It's only Gaysol who's really able to keep up with them. And why is he finding a big drop? That was a very messy one.
That was extremely messy, dropping all the way down to 99.3, and you compare that to all the players on Brazil, the lowest accuracy they have, it's 99.83. That is a very strong early performance here from Brazil. But still only a quarter of the way into the map, 6,000 points. It's a decent lead, but it's definitely not over.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a ridiculously long map compared to some of the ones you've seen. YZ has a lot of ground to work on, but here's the silver lining. Brazil's overall accuracy has dwindled a little bit. Look at Gaysol though, 99.94.
Gaysol, that just went up. It's rising a little bit, but that is definitely keeping South Korea in it. We can see this lead has shrunk just a little bit, but YZ finding another miss. The accuracy from YZ managing to recover a little bit, but the miss does not help whatsoever, and now Brazil going to be widening that lead. A trade from Yonho and Demi coming out as well, and Lamarcinho. So now, hang on a second, Korea might start taking back some of this lead.
Oh, alright. This lead could really shift back to South Korea if Brazil is not careful. Look, oh my goodness, Gaysol's been 99.91 after a long time. And here's the thing though, the combo cap has been reached for the most part, so the lead that you see here may not change that much actually. I think Brazil can still take this.
Yeah, actually, you look at the accuracies, and now it looks like South Korea, they might start having a little bit of an advantage soon if this keeps up. Brazil's accuracies will all drop down to 99.7 range, but Gaysol finds a miss. That's the big accuracy, a very clean one, but that's another miss for South Korea. I think Brazil now 2 misses in the lead. Make that 1 as Lamarcinho finds a trade, but it is another clean one.
Here's the good thing though, silly fangirl. Oh my goodness, wait, I'm just noting some 200s from Demphine. That is going to benefit South Korea a lot. Demphine's working really hard to keep that consistency. As I say that, that's a drop. A very unfortunate one.
And the fatigue at the end of the chart really kicking in. The accuracy drops from Brazil, looking like they're being a little bit too much, and South Korea take the lead for the first time in the map. YZ managing such an incredible recovery now, up to 99.66, increasing the act as the map has gone on.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some time, I would think. Silly Fangirl doing the... Wait, Yano finds a miss! This part is very fatigue-inducing, as he said that the Marcinho and Yano trade! Those trills are hard, and Silly Fangirl misses as well! Oh my god, that's
all the combos from Brazil, they're all gone at the end, and there's just no time. South Korea managing to win it at the end of the map. Very strong recovery from them, no full combos across the board, understandably with a map like that, but Gay Soul with 992k regardless, 99.85, that was easily the best accuracy we are seeing in the whole lobby.
Honestly, that was actually that was very much concerning there. The fact that we only saw one 992k goes to show how difficult this map really is.
Yeah, no joke whatsoever. You know, we're seeing that 250 BPM for 3.5 minutes, and at that density is just absolutely insane what we're seeing in these map pools now. But it is South Korea. They are taking another break point. It is 5-2 now. South Korea get their own pick as well. They can secure match point right now if they manage to pick well.
Yeah, they really... I don't know, but like Brazil is in a tight situation right now because South Korea has the advantage here in 5-2. That's, I think, 2 break points considering things. Oh, they're going for the high pick, 1 pick. Oh my! All right.
Okay, so that makes both teams going for all 3 categories so far in this match. We've had South Korea picking Rice, LN, and Hybrid. We've had Brazil picking Hybrid, Rice, and then LN.
Yeah, I mean, I think this could be a good pick, but it could also backfire. If Korea finds misses here and there, and Brazil outacts them in that regard, Brazil could take this. It's really, like, again, in terms of the hybrids, I think South Korea is more consistent, but Brazil's accuracy is a lot better.
Yeah, Brazil, we've seen the accuracy from them. Even just in that last pick, they had some extraordinary accuracy as a team overall. This one as well, you can expect some very competitive accuracy as well. In South Korea, they have had a few misses here and there. Of course, they've had some extremely strong performances on some maps, but every now and then there's always a bit of a chance offered to Brazil, and this one could be one of those maps, especially because it's less than 2 minutes. So if there is any kind of choke from South Korea, Brazil could very well take the advantage off of the accuracy, off the combo game.
Oh man, I'm honestly really nervous. Okay, I think they're gonna put in Demi according to the chat. Yeah, man, this game has been interesting to me because like there were just so many points here where either team could have taken it, but fatigue has really played a big role on the outcome of the matches here.
Yeah, of course, and you'd have to imagine it only gets harder for the players that are kind of running out of stamina so far in the match. Especially this one, no joke, 258 BPM as well, so very physically intense as well, hard to keep up with, despite it being fairly short.
Yeah, this is only 1 minute and 51 seconds, so if you make a mistake here... Wait, client?
No, we're all good. Everyone holding strong with the first couple notes there, but here we go. More difficult pattern starting suddenly, and so far everyone holding on decently well. Marcinho a little bit worse compared to some of the other players, but not going to matter that much. It's a very small act drop there. Basically tied up between the two teams so far. Demi-Fiend and Poker tying each other.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think the lead is slightly on Brazil's edge, given the fact that Semifinals is actually... Wait, no, I think it would be on South Korea's side. But let's talk about the map, shall we? As you can see right now, you have these LMs where it's like either in 2 columns or 3 columns, and one is going to be Rice. So essentially, what really is going to be tested here is how you're able to read these LM patterns at a very fast rate, while still being able to be physical on the Rice side. And ultimately, Brazil seems to be dropping in that aspect, so that's a bad sign for the physicality. And as I say that, Demi-Fine's drop.
Yeah, Demi-Fiend did drop a few 200s before that as well. That's what gave South Korea the initial advantage. And now with the miss, this is going to be a significant lead over to South Korea. We said it's a short map. There's not too much left of it. So Brazil hoping that South Korea finds a miss of their own pretty soon. But still 5 full combos on the lobby. Lomarcinho, the second miss coming out from Brazil now. And this lead is going to extend.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to become a little bigger. There may be time still. The ending is not the easiest here, but ultimately, Korea's just been really consistent. Poca finding a drop, but it's a little bit too late. Not to mention, Marcinho trades one back. What a score from South Korea, but Brazil did put up a fight at the very start.
Yeah, another 2 full combos coming out from South Korea. Still one Silly Fangirl holding the combo throughout for Brazil there, but it's just not enough. And South Korea now 6-2. They're at match point. They only need to win 1 more, while Brazil are going to be fighting for the reverse sweep now. It's going to have to be 4 in a row to force that tiebreaker out.
Yeah, I mean, that they have to score 4 points in a row. I don't know what Brazil has to pick here. I think they ultimately have to try another Rice Tech. Because, like, those are the only picks that Brazil took points on. Ellen was close on Lemingming. Maybe Konohiyori could be a Brazil pick. But I really think I'm in no mood for this. Has to be the pick they have to go.
Yeah, BOL did end up being pretty close as well, but I agree, the technical picks have been where Brazil have looked the best so far in this match. So definitely looking for that one to come out, if anything. The other one's very difficult to say.
Alright, let's see first. Let's see first what's gonna happen here. I think Brazil has to go for I'm in no mood for this, really.
Yeah, it is an interesting one. The other LNs, I mean, both LNs being won by South Korea. South Korea putting up FCs on both LN maps as well, so very difficult to be able to punish on any misses if they're not missing at all. We'll see if that's the choice. No, it is actually going to be LN coming out again. Nostalgia coming out for Team Brazil. So we're going for another LN pick here, seeing if South Korea managed to mess this one up for a chance of Brazil coming back in this match.
Yeah, I really think Nostalgia could be a pick. I mean, considering that they almost won, what do you call this again? They almost won Le Mingming, so I guess Nostalgia makes a lot of sense. Is the only pick that I could see being a little bit similar compared to that.
Yeah, that was fairly close, all things considered, so that is fair if Brazil have seen that and want to go to try and emulate a similar kind of result, maybe if they're not that comfortable with the Terminal 11 pick. So we'll see. We're getting a couple of switches. It looks like YZ coming in. Not sure who they are replacing on the South Korean side, though. And I do believe it should still be the same 3 players for Brazil playing here for the LN map. Oh wait, no, not Nate. Miku's coming in. Maybe we are going to see Miku Meru coming in for one of the LN picks now.
Yeah, I mean, wait a second. Okay, there we go. It's gonna be Miku Meru who's gonna be playing in place of Silly Fangirl. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, if Miku Meru is actually really good at Ellen release, I think that's just the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen much from Mikumera in recent weeks, at the very least, from what I've seen from Brazil. So definitely one of the players in Brazil that I am a little bit less informed about overall. So we'll see what the performance is overall from this Brazilian team. See if they can get another point on the board here.
Well, yeah, here we go. I mean, I'm honestly really nervous, but I think there's still a chance for Brazil to take this, and that would be a huge morale booster and exactly what they needed here.
We'll see. Off to a good start so far for Brazil, a little bit in the lead, just off of the back of Vanilla Latte, struggling a little bit in the AC department here, and also Demi-Fiend having 99.91, not matched by anyone on the South Korean side.
But yeah, I mean, right now, you can already tell the accuracy advantage is on the Brazilian side. Vanilla Latte has a lot of accuracy to catch up to. Not to mention Polka and Gasol have been in the 99.7 range, so it just cancels out Marcinho. And Demi-Fiend, of course, we know, definitely very ahead right now.
Oh, but it looks like it's flickering back and forth a little bit. Mikumera dropping in accuracy just a little bit. Now tying up Vanilla Latte. And Marcinho dropping to Gasol's level as well. It looks fairly close, but all things considered, Mikumera finding a little bit of a miss now. And that's going to be South Korea in the lead. That came with a bit of an accuracy drop as well. So South Korea looking like they have the accuracy advantage ever so slightly now as well. Oh, another miss coming in from Demi-Fiend.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate drop. I can't really blame anyone here though, because these LM patterns are very difficult, especially for your wrists. Like, this really forces you to focus on the longer ones while hopefully being able to have the speed to be able to rotate them in some way. And right now, it looks like Korea has the consistency, but as I say that, Vanilla Latte finds a drop, and that's a huge one.
Yeah, dropping down to 99.5 as well. This is giving a little bit of an avenue to Brazil, but the AC lead still falls in South Korea's favor. Polka and Demi-Fiend holding on. Oh, but Demi-Fiend finding a little bit of a miss. And now it's a fairly clean one, all things considered, only dropping down to 99.68. So still strong accuracy for Brazil, but it just looks like there's not enough. There's not enough misses coming out from South Korea. And one more miss from Brazil. As we're in the outro, that might seal this match.
Oh, what happened to Mikumeru? I think that was a disconnect, or maybe something again.
Maybe a disconnect, but it definitely would not have mattered either way. No misses, no mistakes coming out at the end for South Korea. They are going to lock in their win 7-2 against Brazil, and South Korea have guaranteed themselves a spot in the podium, top 3, and are going to verse USA next week in the winners' finals.
Oh my goodness, US and South Korea. That's a match people would dream of watching, and I can't wait to see how that goes. Though, Potassium, I gotta give props to Brazil for even playing at such an early time. They did an absolutely amazing job, am I right?
They had some crazy accuracy. Like, we saw, as far as accuracy goes, this was not a loss for Brazil, right? It is mostly in the combo game where South Korea showed that insane consistency overall. But Brazil, if they're able to pull off those scores next week, in the losers bracket, of course, they still get another chance of making podium themselves. So I think all of those teams in the losers bracket also should be very scared of Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope Brazil will be able to recover, and I'm confident they will. The losers bracket gives you a second chance. They did an amazing job no matter the result of this match. You gotta give your props to them once again. Though, another country that we should definitely be giving our props to is South Korea for securing themselves a top 3 spot, as you've said a while ago. So the matchup is going to be South Korea, United States. I don't know who wins that one, actually. That's gonna be a very close one, in my opinion.
Yeah, extremely exciting matches coming in next week. I do believe we have one more match this weekend coming up, if I'm not mistaken, in the losers bracket. Yeah, we've got Indonesia versus Chile coming up later tonight, and that is going to determine who versus Brazil in the losers bracket next week. Every other match this weekend is done for, and oh my god, just looking at the teams that we have lined up potentially for next week is just making me so ridiculously excited, because we've seen such incredible performances from all the players.
I mean, yeah. So the matchup we have remaining is Indonesia-Chile. Can I just say this? I'm gonna preface that by saying Indonesia and Chile have been facing each other since 2021. 2021 and 2022, they faced each other on the second match of quarterfinals. And once again, they're doing this on the second match of the weekend. Oh man, the storyline here is, can Indonesia go for 3 in a row? Or can Chile avenge the previous years? I can't wait to see the storyline here.
It's going to be insanely exciting. Both teams, of course, coming off of wins themselves in their own match. So both of the players, or both of the team's players, are going to be feeling pumped for this one. And I actually don't know who's going to win it. I think it's up in the air, absolutely. So make sure you stay tuned for that one, 14 UTC. That's going to be in about an hour and a half. So we'll have to see you there.
But until then, I think I have said everything I've said. So unless you want to close it with anything, see you next time.
Bye.
Always talking shit, took your advice and did the opposite. Just being young and stupid. Oh, I haven't been all that you could have hoped for, but if you'd held on a little longer, you'd have had more reasons to be proud. Oh, so many questions, but I